In the shadows of the world we live in, there are truths most people never hear. Facts hidden in plain sight. Secrets the system relies on you not knowing. I'm Mr. Oblivion, and today, we expose why your salary will never make you wealthy. Most Americans believe in the American dream. Work hard, study hard, get a job, climb the ladder, do this, and one day you'll have security. A house in the suburbs, retirement savings, maybe a little financial freedom. But the harsh truth is far darker. Because the system isn't designed to make you wealthy, it's designed to make you productive, tax compliant, and dependent. Your salary, that number on your paycheck, is a trap. Let me explain. You live in a country that is one of the wealthiest on the planet. The United States has trillions in GDP, countless opportunities, and yet the average American household savings is shockingly low. According to recent studies, almost 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even with a college degree, even with hard work, even in prosperous states like California, New York, or Texas, most people remain trapped in the cycle of earning and spending. Why? Because earning a salary is not wealth creation. It is labor exchange, time for money. You trade your hours, your energy, your life for a number on a pay stub, and then the system takes its cut. Federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, local taxes, sales tax, property tax, gas tax. Even your coffee is taxed. The more you earn, the more the system collects. It's not about fairness, it's about control. Consider this. The top federal tax bracket in the United States hits incomes over $578,125 for individuals. You might think, great, I'll work my way up there and pay my share and eventually I'll be wealthy. But here's the cruel irony. Income taxes are only one piece of the puzzle. Because while you're busy earning and giving, the ultra-rich, the top 1%, aren't playing this game at all. Billionaires and multimillionaires don't live on salaries. They live on assets, investments, and ownership. Stocks, real estate, intellectual property, private businesses, companies they don't just work for, they own. And here's where the system tilts dramatically. Let's say you live in California. You've worked for 10 years, moved up to a management position in Los Angeles, and now earn $120,000 a year. The federal government takes roughly 24%, the state takes another 9.3%, plus deductions for Social Security, Medicare, and perhaps local taxes. Suddenly, that $120,000 is closer to $85,000 in take-home pay. That's still a good salary, but try to buy a median home in LA. It's over $750,000. Rent, $2,500 a month minimum. Utilities, groceries, transportation. Suddenly, your hard-earned income barely stretches. Meanwhile, in New York, a similar scenario plays out. The state takes 8.82%. New York City adds another 3.8%, and the top earners see almost 40% of their paycheck vanish in taxes before they even consider living expenses. You are literally trapped by geography, law, and circumstance. Now, let's take a moment and examine why your salary is fundamentally limited. No matter how high your hourly wage, your maximum income is capped by time. There are 24 hours in a day. Sleep, commuting, chores, and personal life all consume your hours. Even if you work 80 hours a week, your paycheck can only increase so far. Compare that to someone who owns assets. Their money works while they sleep. Stocks appreciate, real estate collects rent, businesses generate revenue 24/7, dividends roll in, interests compound. The wealthy are not constrained by hours, they are constrained by strategy. Here's another secret the system doesn't tell you. Inflation and the cost of living are designed to erode your salary. Take the past decade. Inflation in America averages around 3% per year. A $50,000 salary 10 years ago has the same buying power as about $39,000 today. But wages rarely rise at the same pace. Minimum wage in most states hasn't kept up with rent, healthcare, or education costs. You work harder, and yet your purchasing power diminishes. Your salary alone cannot beat inflation. Your paycheck alone cannot generate wealth. Your paycheck alone cannot buy freedom. And here's the part that makes most Americans furious. While you pay taxes on every dollar earned, the wealthy pay almost nothing on their growing fortunes. The very assets that generate their wealth often escape taxation entirely until sold, or sometimes indefinitely. Stocks increase in value over decades, untaxed. Real estate appreciates, untaxed until sold, with deductions for depreciation, interest, and even property improvements. They leverage loans, deductions, and legal structures to pay as little as 1 to 2% in effective taxes on billions of dollars of growth. Meanwhile, your salary? Subject to every deduction, every bracket, every limitation the IRS enforces. And yet, most Americans never see this disparity. It's invisible to the daily grind. It's hidden behind terms like capital gains, step up in basis, 1031 exchanges, depreciation, and deductible business expenses. If you haven't studied finance or hired a high-powered accountant, you simply cannot access it. Now let's talk about one more trap most Americans walk into willingly: debt and lifestyle inflation. Raise your salary, and most people immediately raise their expenses. Bigger house, new car, expensive vacations, designer goods, subscriptions, gym memberships, private schools, coffee, lunches, phones. Everything adds up. You are trapped in a cycle. Earn more, spend more, pay more. Meanwhile, the wealthy leverage debt to multiply their money. Mortgages, business loans, margin accounts, asset-backed lending. They borrow to invest, not to consume. They make the system work for them, not against them. And here's where it gets even darker for the average American. You may think, if I just save diligently, I can build wealth over time. But savings accounts in the United States pay near zero interest. The Federal Reserve's rates often trail behind inflation. You put $10,000 in the bank, a year later it's worth slightly less in real terms. Meanwhile, assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate grow exponentially, but are inaccessible if you only earn a salary. And most Americans can't access those assets, not without significant capital, not without insider knowledge, not without risk tolerance most cannot afford. Your salary becomes a trap, a system designed to keep you working, keep you taxed, keep you dependent. But it doesn't have to stay that way. The first step in breaking free is understanding the rules, not the myths you were taught. The wealthy didn't get rich by working harder in the same way you do. They got rich by mastering the rules you never knew existed, rules hidden in plain sight in the US tax code, investment laws, and financial systems. And if you want to learn those rules, to see the system for what it really is, you need to start asking the right questions. How does a millionaire turn a small business into a tax-free personal income stream? How does a billionaire borrow millions without paying taxes and still grow their wealth? Why does a stock portfolio work better than a salary every single time? These aren't mysteries, they're facts. Facts that Americans rarely learn in school, at work, or even at home. You might be thinking, I've worked hard, I'm disciplined, I'm smart, I save, I invest in my 401k. Isn't that enough? The truth is no. A 401k grows slowly, limited by contributions and market conditions. Meanwhile, the top 1% have financial engineers, lawyers, and accountants ensuring every move maximizes growth and minimizes taxation. This is why your salary will never make you wealthy. It's not your fault. It's the design of the system. And if you want to break free, you have to think differently. You have to move from being an employee to being an owner, from trading time for money to letting money work for you. But that's a lesson for another layer, one we'll explore soon. For now, know this. Your paycheck is a cage. Taxes, inflation, and expenses are the bars. Every raise, every bonus, it's just a piece of meat thrown in to keep you occupied. Meanwhile, the wealthy are building empires in the shadows. So here's what I want you to do. Look at your salary honestly. Look at your expenses. Ask yourself, is this really freedom? Is this really wealth? Or is it just survival dressed as success? If you're ready to see the truth, the next step is simple. Subscribe to Mr. Oblivion. Because the deeper secrets, the ones that explain exactly how Americans can escape the trap of salary dependency, are coming. And once you see them, you can never unsee them. This is Mr. Oblivion, and the truth about your paycheck is darker than you think. And now, let's pull back the curtain on the hidden world of wealth the system never wants you to see. It's not just the laws, the taxes, or the limits of a salary that keep most Americans from financial freedom. It's also the way power and information flow. The wealthy don't just accumulate money, they accumulate knowledge. Knowledge about the markets, knowledge about loopholes, knowledge about opportunities the average worker never hears about. Take real estate, for example. Owning property isn't just about having a place to live. It's a wealth-building machine. Depreciation, mortgage interest deductions, tax deferrals, 1031 exchanges, terms that sound complex, even boring. But in reality, they allow investors to pay little or nothing in taxes while their assets grow exponentially. And it's not just the coasts, it's everywhere. From New York to Florida, Texas to Illinois, savvy investors use these rules to turn ordinary homes into financial engines. Meanwhile, the American worker rents, pays market rates, and sees no return beyond a roof over their head. Or consider the stock market. The average salary earner invests in a 401k or an IRA, and that's fine. But the wealthy? They leverage options, hedge funds, trusts, and offshore accounts. Their money works while they sleep. And when the market moves, they're not just reacting, they're predicting, protecting, and profiting. Even small advantages compound over time. A millionaire starts investing at 25. A worker starts at 35. By the time they reach 50, the difference is astronomical. A lifetime of hard work and saving on a salary can't compete with decades of strategic asset growth. and the system subtly enforces this disparity. Student loans, car loans, credit cards, mortgages, all designed for regular Americans to stay in cycles of debt. You work to pay them down, and the interest benefits the financial institutions, not you. Meanwhile, the wealthy borrow to invest, earning more than they pay in interest. This is why even when Americans try to save, it feels impossible to break free. The system is tilted at every level. It's built to the economy, into the laws, into your daily life. But there is hope for those who wake up to this truth. Because once you understand the mechanics of wealth, you can start shifting your strategy. The first step is thinking like an owner, not an employee. Stop valuing your time solely as dollars per hour. Start valuing it as leverage. Every skill you develop, every connection you make, every dollar you save or invest should multiply itself. Second, learn the rules that the rich use, but in a way accessible to you. Open investment accounts. Learn about dividend-paying stocks. Understand the power of tax-advantaged accounts. Explore small business ownership. Even side hustles can become engines of growth if approached with strategy, not desperation. Third, question the narrative. The media, the schools, even well-meaning mentors will tell you the American dream is climbing the corporate ladder, buying a house, saving a 401k, retiring at 65. But the truth? That's a survival plan, not a wealth plan. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner you can escape the cage of salary dependence. Now, some of you may feel anger reading this. That's natural. Anger is a reaction to injustice, but don't let it paralyze you. Let it motivate you. Every secret the system keeps is an opportunity for those willing to learn. Every loophole, every advantage, every hidden path is a chance to reclaim control over your financial destiny. Consider this. A single American earning $75,000 per year may save $10,000 annually in a retirement account. A billionaire might pay 1% to 2% in taxes on millions of dollars in assets while reinvesting profits to earn exponentially more. The disparity isn't luck. It's leverage, it's strategy, and it's intentional. Here's the hidden fact that no one tells you. Wealth isn't built on effort alone. It's built on positioning, timing, and understanding the rules the system creates. And that's what separates the 99% from the 1%. Not intelligence, not talent, not hard work. Understanding how money moves and positioning yourself where it multiplies. This is why your salary will never make you wealthy. Your paycheck is a tool, but a limited one. Your financial freedom comes not from how much you earn per hour, but how effectively you let money work for you. And here's the final piece of the puzzle: mindset. Most Americans are conditioned to fear risk, fear failure, fear breaking the rules of salary dependence. But the truth is, the system rewards calculated risk. It rewards education about money. It rewards action. So today, I challenge you to start seeing beyond your paycheck. Start analyzing how the wealthy leverage laws, taxes, and assets to grow exponentially. Start asking yourself, what can I own that will generate wealth while I sleep? What skills, knowledge, or investments can I pursue to escape the salary trap? And remember this, you are not alone. Millions of Americans are waking up to the same truths. And every day, more people are learning to play the game by different rules. Because here's the ultimate secret. The system may try to keep most Americans working for decades without real wealth. But those who educate themselves, adapt, and act, they break free. They become the 1% not by luck, but by strategy. So here's what I want you to do. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications, because the next expose will dive deeper into exactly how Americans can start building wealth outside the paycheck trap, using legal strategies and opportunities the system rarely talks about. And if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Your salary is not your path to freedom. It's a tool, a start, not the end. The truth is darker than most will admit, but brighter for those willing to see it. I'm Mr. Oblivion, and the moment you understand how the system works, the moment you see how wealth really moves, you can finally start planning your escape. The cage is obvious once you see it. The bars are made of routine, taxation, and expectation. But knowledge, strategy, leverage, that is the key to breaking free. Your journey doesn't end here. It starts now. Subscribe, stay vigilant, and prepare to uncover more truths the system wants hidden. Because the paycheck is a trap, but freedom is possible for those willing to look beyond it.